Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video, welcome if you are new. It's my favourite time of the year and I feel like I could probably film or show a clip of every single one of these and you will just see my hair getting longer. But we are in October, and you know what October means? Well, we're not in October yet, but this is for October. This is the October TBR, and in October, I turn 30. We are picking our TBR, we're picking the 8 books we're gonna read in October, and it's a special month because I turn 30, we go on holiday, lots of change, because it's public knowledge now within the kind of industry I work in, but I am changing jobs. So, new job, new 30s, new everything. It's a big old month. So, we are gonna get the TBR jar. Here she is. We're gonna get a TBR jar and we are gonna go and pick the 8 books we're gonna read in October. The focuses for the month coming up, and let me get out my little phone. So I've got a couple of books on hold from the library. I have Fearful by Lauren Roberts, which is the novella at the end of the Powerless trilogy plus 2 novellas world. I have Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, which is the prequel to the Hunger Games trilogy. And then I have The Tempest of Tea and A Steeping of Blood by Hafsa Faisal, which is I think, duology, but it's definitely the first 2 books in that world. So those are on hold from the library, and those will all be ready in October. What have I got on pre-order? Oh, I forgot about that. Coming out in October is Mate by Ali Hazelwood, which is the 2nd book after Bride. So yeah, there's a lot of books that I have not on my TBR, but I want to either select for my TBR or they're just generally on my radar for October. So let's just go pick some prompts. Let's go pick 8 books. I'm very excited. Let's go. A book with a red cover. Oh my god, my camera's rapidly running out of charge. So I don't really have any books with a red cover per se. So we're gonna go with a book with a red spine and with some red on the cover. And this is Lisa Jewell's The Truth About Melody Browne. And I don't quite know what happens, but for some reason Melody Browne doesn't remember who she was, or like her past memories have disappeared, and then she starts to remember, and therefore she's like piecing together some kind of dark thing that happened in her past, and it just feels like the perfect book to read in the kind of spooky month that is October. So it hasn't actually got a red cover, it's got more of a white base cover, but it's got a red spine and some red on the cover. So very loosely, this is my book with a red cover. A book that ends in an odd number of pages. So for this one you have a lot more freedom because it's fundamentally, you kind of just pick until something matches the description. So Fearful has 288, Sunrise on the Reaping has 400, A Tempest of Tea has 496. Why do they all have, that's just unfair. 464, why does So I can read Skyshade, which is the last book I own in the Light Lark series. How many books, how many pages does this one have? 381. Yeah, I'm gonna read this. This is Skyshade by Aster, and this is the 3rd book in the Light Lark series, which I am loving. I got the 1st book in last month's TBR. I then basically read the 2nd book almost instantly. It is well, the 1st book follows basically 5 different races who have been cursed, and they have a chance every 100 years to break the curse by entering a competition or a challenge. There is a love triangle, there is kind of like mystical or magical abilities. It's really, really fun. And in the 2nd one, there is a bit of a war or a battle that's been like created, and it ends with the most delicious cliffhanger. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Skyshade, a book that ends with an odd number. Book number 3. You know how I'm gonna do this one? I'm gonna pick a handful of books I want to read, and then out of those books we're going to make a random number generator pick the winner. That's how we're going to do it. And while I'm picking those books, I'm going to get a charger to pop you on charge because you've got 4% left. Right, You are on charge, so you may have moved ever so slightly, but there you go. I have now picked some books to pick between, and they are all starting new series, which is very exciting. So the 4 books a number generator is going to pick between is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is like a Regency fantasy fairy tale type story about a girl or a woman who, I think she basically can't read emotions, but she has to basically try and find a husband, but because she can't like understand emotions, I think something like that. But it just sounds really fun, and this is the start of a, I believe, interconnected series, which is very exciting. So Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. We have Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood, which is the start of a new series where the 2nd book, I believe, is now out. And this is witches. You have a little witch who owns a bookshop and she has to come back to her coven and I believe save it. It's that kind of vibe. You then have Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver, and this is a dark romance. So this is very different. This is a serial killer who I believe someone falls in love with, or maybe there's 2 serial killers. I don't know, but it's something to do with a dark romance with serial killers. So Butcher and Blackbird. And then we have The Inheritance Games, which follows a young girl who inherits a millionaire's or a billionaire's inheritance, and the actual children of the deceased basically make them enter a game to keep the inheritance or something along that lines. And this is a new series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which I loved. The Naturals. I loved The Naturals. So this is another series by this author. So these are my 4 options. I'm going to make a random number generator, pick between 1 and 4, and we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. It's picked 3, which is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood, which is a very cutesy little book to have for my October read. So like I said, this is following Belladonna Blackthorne, who basically hasn't been practicing magic for a while. She's currently working in a bookshop in London, and then on her 30th birthday, her coven basically make her enter a trial to test her worthiness, because if she doesn't complete it, she'll lose her magic forever. Some things go wrong and she actually ends up having to help people out or something along that lines. And it just sounds really, really cute. And I really, really love watching this author's YouTube channel and have for years. So, but like her author life and her author journey, I'm really, really excited about. So yeah, I'm gonna read Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood as my random number generator picks. Start a new series. So I literally picked up 3 series here and talked you through them and said I'm excited to read all of them. So we currently have a fantasy, a thriller, and like a cozy fantasy. And therefore I feel like of the 2 here that start new genres, we've got Butcher and Blackburn and The Inheritance Game. And I feel like I want to read one of these 2. You know what, I haven't read a Jennifer Lynn Barnes book in ages. So I think I'm going to start The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is what it says on the back, and it really, really intrigues me. So it says, $1 billion fortune. Avery has a plan, keep her head down, work hard for a better future. Then an eccentric billionaire dies, leaving her almost his entire fortune. And no one else, least of all Avery, knows why. Now she must move into the mansion she's inherited. It's filled with secrets and codes, and the old man's surviving relatives. A family hell-bent on discovering why Avery has got their money. Soon she is caught in a deadly game that everyone in this strange family is playing, but just how far will they go to keep their fortune? And it's a whole series, which I'm very excited to read. So this is my new series, and I couldn't be happier, and I'm so excited. So this is book number 4. A book you bought because of its cover. Ooh, this is fun. I mean, strictly speaking, it's a shame that I couldn't pick Rewitched in this because this cover is just so cute, but she's already been picked. So, what did I pick because of its cover? I think this has to be on there. All across the whole damn country. I think it's between one of these two, but for kind of different reasons. So we have Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, which, I mean, look at that cover. Is that not just so cutesy? And it kind of feels like it's giving fall, but I actually think the book is set in spring, so I don't really know, but I think this is an accidental pregnancy trope, I think. I'm not sure, but we've got this one, and then we've got Of Flame and Fury by Mikayla Bridge, which is as much of the cover as it is the spine, which is just stunning. So it's between one of these two books, and I do think this cover just takes it. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, just look at this cover. I picked this up from TK Maxx, and I picked it up because a lot of people have spoken about this book and I've seen it a lot online, and therefore I kind of wanted to like be involved and be part of the journey. But I actually don't really know a huge amount about this book in terms of the actual plot, but I feel like this is actually quite a cute little book, and it kind of rounds off the genres. I kind of feel like I've now almost got one of everything. So yeah, Ready or Not by Cara Bastone is book number 5. Longest book on my TBR. Ooh. Sometimes these are halfway through a series, so we are going to have to do the longest book that I actually can continue, but I'm going to scooch over and we'll put the screen recording on the right there. So I'm going to go to Goodreads. I'm going to go to Want to Read, which is my physical TBR, and currently they're in order by average rating, but if I put by number of pages, it's currently shortest, so let's pivot it. Okay, so I can't read Glow because it's book 4 and I haven't read book 1, 2 or 3, and I can't read The Throne of Broken Gods because I haven't read book 1, but what I can read is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, which is this book here. It has 718 pages. I actually can't wait to read this because I believe it features dragons, which I just adore. Dragons are one of my favourite things. So this is what it says in the back. She's an assassin on the run. Rave's job is to complete orders and never get caught until a rival assassin devastates her world and she is captured by a group of powerful fae. He's the dragon rider who'll stop at nothing to save her. Crushed by the loss of his great love, Can Vega hunts the world for answers. Then a clue lures him to the capital's high security prison, where he finds Rave. Now they seek truths that threaten to shatter everything they know about their world and each other. This #1 best-selling global phenomenon will transport you into a world filled with magic, dragons, and a love that blazes through the ages. Okay, that sounds like so much fun. And if I'm going to read anything on my birthday month, it's a book about dragons. Okay, I'm happy. I can't complain. This is an epic book to get on my TBR. It's quite a big book, but if it's going to be picked, this is a good one to be picked. So we're now on to book number 7. This is the penultimate book. We have a really good monthly TBR. Like, I'm really excited. So let's pick book number 7. Lowest rated on Goodreads. We were going so well, and now we have to pick the lowest rated. Okay. Sometimes the lowest rated books can be a surprise, and then sometimes they're just terrible and they deserve the low rating they have, so we shall see. But I'm counting the number of pages as we had before. Let's change to average rating. So we're currently on the highest rated, which is pretty much 2 of the same books you saw before. So apparently Blue Hour is on my TBR, but I don't actually have that book, so I don't really know how it got onto this list. So therefore, if we exclude that one because I don't own it, the lowest book is Ready or Not by Tracy Darnton. Like, at least it's a short book. If it's going to be low rated, at least it's a very short little book. I think it's, there you go, it's 269 pages. And the font is relatively big, so at least if it's bad, it'll be over before I've even started it. But this is effectively a book following a group of teenagers, I believe, and one of them, they go and play hide and seek in this old mansion, and one of them is hiding and they just never find them. And that is like the general premise of this book. I picked it up in a charity shop for £1, and I don't really know much about it. It's got very, very few ratings. Like, it's got 213 ratings, so like pretty much 0. And I'm very intrigued. So this is the lowest rated book on my physical TBR, and oh, it's mixed media. Immediately, because it's mixed media, I am more excited, but we shall see. Right, we now have the 8th and final book on my monthly TBR. The very final book I'm going to be reading. Well, I'll read more than these 8, but the very final book that I will be almost forced to read in my birthday month. A book published this year. Okay, so I often buy paperbacks, which means actually sometimes the paperback has been published this year, but not the hardback. I have 3 books that fit this prompt, and 3 books only. So we have A Flame of Fury, which is actually published this year. So this went straight to paperback. So this is definitely a 2025 published book. This follows Phoenix hunters, Phoenix racers, and it just sounds a lot of fun. So this is a 2025 published book. And then the next 2, the hardbacks, came out in 2024, but the paperbacks came out in 2025. You have Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, which is following, I believe, chess players. Is this the chess player one? I think so. And then you have Immortal Dark by Chijes Germer, which is going absolutely nuts online at the moment. And this follows vampires. I don't think I'm in the mood for Intermezzo, so I do think it's between Of Flame and Fury and Immortal Dark. I think Of Flame and Fury is going to win it. This really intrigues me. I've literally never read a book about Phoenix racers. It just, to me, feels like a more interesting plot line and a more unique plot line. So this is going to be the 8th and final book on my October TBR. Okay, so for my birthday month, for the month that I turn 30, which is wild, the 8 books that I am to read on my monthly TBR are Lisa Jewell, The Truth About Melody Browne, which is a book with a red cover. We have Skyshade by Aster, which is a book that finishes in an odd number of pages. We have Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood, which is when I let a random number generator pick my read. We have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is starting a new series. We have Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, which is a book I picked because of its cover. We have When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, which is the longest book on my physical TBR. We have Ready or Not by Tracy Darnton, which is the lowest rated book on my physical TBR. And then we have Of Flame and Fury by Mikayla, which is a book that was published in 2025. Do you want the house tour? I can take you to the 1st, 2nd, 3rd floor. Okay. Right, and there you have it. Those are the 8 books I am planning to read in the month of October. It's, as I've said multiple times, a very exciting month because it's my birthday, we go on holiday twice, there's lots of things happening, we have a house party, all our friends are coming over. There's just a lot happening in October, and we have a pretty solid monthly TBR with some pretty exceptional books. So I'm very, very excited, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, I've got hiccups. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, leave a comment, you know what to do, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!